How's everyone doing right now? Hope you're doing good. All I can say about myself is I just got done with a crazy hectic episode of Age of Empires. So I'm just trying to chill out now. Gonna have a nice relaxing time floating my way through routes 19 and 20 in the Seafoam Islands. Even though I can't imagine the Seafoam Islands being that relaxing with all the rapid rushing water there. So we're out in the ocean and the waves are pretty calm here, which is strange, and there's a lot of squiggly lines that are not really waves. You can't figure it out, but it's hypnotic. Anyways, off screen, went and got Mark for strength because you're going to need that once you go into the Seafoam Islands. So did that off screen, that's it. So now we're just going to complete this rhombus of trainers here. So let's see what this guy has to say. Swimming's great, sunbirds aren't. True that. True that. I mean, sunburns, sleeping with sunburns is even bad. I mean, obviously during the act of sleeping it's alright, but you always feel like you got a fever when you have a sunburn, regardless of where it is on your body. I mean, typically the back will make you feel feverish, but even the feet, you don't want to put the socks on. I mean, the socks are on. Once the act of putting them on, it's not that fun. All I can say, aloe vera. Butt beauty, I'm just assuming this. Tanning's probably your thing. You probably like doing that. Reason why you get sunburns. It's a shocker, I know. Figure it out. But you do give me money. I like that. My boyfriend wanted to swim the Seafoam Islands. Isn't he great? I swam here, but I'm tired. So come to chill here. That's a good idea. And here in part 45, we're going to be capturing the remaining 3 Pokemon that you can capture on Route 19. Once again, I'm capturing many of the water Pokemon right now because it's memorable, and not necessarily memorable. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's identifiable. You know where routes 19 and 20 are. It's a big body of water, and if you're watching this trying to find out where those Pokemon are, where you can catch those Pokemon, you can just come here and know that you're going to run into them eventually because it is an easy place to find. That's why I'm doing that, and I'll be going to the Seafoam Islands, and I haven't been there in quite some time, going to be honest with you, so you're going to have to bear with me as I stumble my way through that place. And typically, I believe Jolteon learns Thunder at this level, but because I obviously taught Jolteon Thunder beforehand, Jolteon does not need to learn it a second time and cannot learn it a second time. So down goes Staryu. Looking to catch one of these guys in this video, hopefully. I'm exhausted. Isn't that quaint? You just said that to me. Oh, I just love your ride. Can I have it if I win? If you had it, I would drown. And if I did that, I would have no walkthrough to do. So, no. And you have 5 Pokemon, so I'm not a fan of those. Low experience points, long time for the YouTubes. It's a lose-lose for me and for the YouTubes. Maybe it's a win for you, but it is a loss for you, so it's a loss cubed. And because it's not an even number of losses, it's still a negative. Okay? So we're looking at negatives all across the board. Just don't mention it ever again. So my plan, looking at, we got pretty high levels now for a Pokemon. I'm not sure if I want to get up to 60 or 65 for each of my 6 main Pokemon before I get to the Indigo Plateau. I'll see how my training goes, and I'll see how much time I'm given based on just everyday life and what other projects I'm working on for YouTube. And I'm assuming, I'm not really sure how many more parts it's going to be, but we're obviously getting towards the end, and we're going to try to savor every morsel of it. So there goes the Goldeen. Just caught one in last part, or maybe 43. I can't remember, 43 or 44. It's all melded into one at this point. And I haven't recorded Pokemon in probably 5 days, I would say. So there goes a Poliwag, Scallywag, and down goes another beauty. So that's another good chunk of change. It's still a long way to go to Seafoam Islands. Well, thank you. So I'm going to, and I don't believe there's anybody else. Is there anybody else down there? Probably should have got some super repels off screen. Hey, but I had no money. At least I had no money going into this part, so you can't really blame me. I had to spend it all on those Ultra Balls, and those Ultra Balls are mighty worth it, considering I'm right in the thick of catching legendary Pokemon right now. Once you get past Articuno and Moltres, things are going to get pretty easy because all we have left in terms of legendaries are Mewtwo, and I'm using Mr. Master Ball for that. Thank you, Silphco. So here's another swimmer. Why are you riding a Pokemon? Can't you swim? Well, I actually don't know, because I've lived in a house all my life. Apparently, I've never left the house until this very journey that embarked from Pallet Town. I've never been taught from my mother, who is a little weird, and I don't have a father influence in my life, so most likely I don't know how to swim. I just never tried either. So I can float, though. I can guarantee that. So we're seeing more horsies here. And shocking some more horsies as well. I do like the horsey. I don't like the birdo nose, the birdo mouth that much. It's a little strange to me. Seadra looks just angry all the time. Either angry or just like disgusted. So I've never really, you know, grown an affection for Seadra. Kingdra, on the other hand, is a little bit more happy-go-lucky, but doesn't make me a huge fan of it either. Dragon Pokemon just haven't found a place in my heart like I know other people have. For him, Salamance's Dragonites. Just never adopted one. Ouch, torpedoed. Are you playing Age of Empires? Running Pokemon sure looks fun. It's easy too, I guarantee that. The water is shallow here, but doesn't look anything different from the previous area. Maybe we should go into Generation 3, where I can tell if the water's shallow. Is that such a great feature, or is that just a gimmicky thing that people like, though? Because it doesn't really matter to me. And although Generation 3's graphics look amazing compared to Generation 2 and 1, I just love Generation 2 that much more than you, Generation 3. I'm sorry. So here's another Pokemon, a newer one that we haven't seen too much of, and it's a Cloyster. Cloyster, it's great defense and good special attack. So, and it's a water ice type Pokemon, so if you're looking for one of those guys with those types of assets, go ahead and get yourself a Cloyster. It's a pretty good Pokemon. I wish I could ride my Pokemon. Well, isn't that ditto redundant? So we're going to continue on now. Just making our way over to Seafoam Islands. Where will you be? On the horizon? I cannot see you. But look at the horizon or else you're going to get seasick. So I'm going to come around to the other side of the swimmer. Seafoam is quite a quiet getaway. With the rushing waters and all, and I never see anybody in there, why should I believe any of you? Are you just putting me in a booby trap to drown in the White Knuckle Fury Rapids of the Seafoam Islands? So 55 now is Jolteon. I'm going to keep Jolteon out there just for right now, considering I don't really see it having too many opportunities throughout the rest of this walkthrough. So I might as well take advantage of the water abundant Pokemon that it's going to see here, as long as it hits with Thunder. I do have Double Kick and Pin Missile, but those don't really have parts in this area of Kanto either. So kind of in a conundrum here. And looks like I'm going to use Thunder again on another very weak Seadra, level 30. So critical hit like I needed it. And Jolteon's up with another 996 experience points. Quit it. Quit beating you up. There's a huge cabin underneath this island. Like you said that it was this island, like we're currently on one. We're right next to one. We're not on it though. So here's Seafoam Islands, everybody. You can come. Get on Blastoise really quickly here. Bear with me. Come down here. Nope, you can't go in there. So you're gonna have to. Thank you, Repel, for having perfect timing. And before I move on, by the way, forgot to mention, time to do a little good super rotting. So we're gonna bring. I'm actually gonna put Raichu out in the lead. Use that paralyze, or yeah, definitely. Thunder Wave. Jeez, took me a while to recall that. And I'm going to use my Super Rod. So the reason of having the Super Rod, other than just having a Super Rod with you to have a little good time going out fishing, we're not going to be cooking cod for dinner. We're going to be catching Shelders, Horsies, and Staryus, who all are level 15 when you run into them here on Route 19 fishing. And they all... If I can ever... Really? And is this still considered Route 19? I'm drawing a blank here. So this is kind of strange considering I'm not running into any Pokemon. There we go. I'm gonna see if if those statistics run over. I'm not sure if this is still considered Route 19 or Route 20. I'm a little blurry on the remembrance of that. I could just run back to Fuchsia City though, because I know for certain that that is Route 19. But I'm gonna try it a couple more times here. What I'm looking for though, I want to rehash this, is shelters at level 15, Horsies at level 15, and Staryus at level 15. All you need to have a Super Rod for, and that's pretty low levels for Super Rod, I know. And they each have a 25% occurrence rate, so if you're going to run into it, you're going to run into it pretty quickly. So, there's a shelter. Beautiful. So, I hooked the shelter in, and I'm going to bring our Raichu, not for its good looks, but for the Thunder Wave. So, we got 20 of those on the PP. And this is all I'm going to do to it, obviously, because if I brought out the Thunder Shock, Shelter would probably be withdrawing very quickly. Electric Shock. So my Shelter is caught, and I own a Shelter. Shelter is the first stage of eventually Cloyster, and it's a bivalve. It's hard to shell repels any kind of attack. It is vulnerable only when its shell is open. So it's kind of a recluse, Cargo-esque, and that nixes Shelter off our list. And it's late in the game. You're gonna need a Super Rod, I believe, to catch a Shelter at any place, any body of water. So I wouldn't recommend Shelter for your team, but if you're able to get a Shelter somehow early on in your walkthrough, you will have a great Pokemon. You have a Pokemon that has a pretty good learn set. And obviously has a good dual type and is good defense, so you're gonna have a good bet. You're gonna have a good Pokemon to round out your team, assuming you don't already have a water type Pokemon, and assuming we don't run into more Shelters. The YouTubes want to see Articunos, not more Shelters. Run away. Read some books. So we're going to jump back down to the Super Rod, and I'm going to go 3 more encounters, and if I don't run into a Horsey and a Staryu, I'm going to just jump into Seafoam Islands, and then I'll add on catching those guys sometime later. So here's this Horsey, beautiful, and I'm planning on catching this guy right now. There's no killing this Horsey Raichu as much you would like to. Just pulverize its cute little face. You're not going to be able to, and it's fully paralyzed. So I do have 83 Ultra Balls, and I'm planning on having 81 going into Articuno, unless I decide to off-screen, but I won't be putting you guys through that torture. So it's a dragon. Wow, that's strange. Isn't that just a seahorse? Known to shoot down flying bugs with precision blasts of ink from the surface of the water. So I guess the Horsey consumes those bugs with its little snout, but I'm a little puzzled by that. So wrong part of my pack here. Going up to the Super Rod, and one more Pokemon to get. Misty, why don't you hand over your Staryu, your beloved Staryu? Why don't you hand it over? I'm looking for one. I already threw down the gauntlet way back in Cerulean City. You might as well. Please, pretty please. Is this a Staryu for me? No, it's not. So, just waiting on that last Staryu. Never going to see another one, I'm not assuming, unless I see one in the latter end of Route 20 after here's Seafoam Islands, which is not too far away from the Cinnabar Island that we're looking for. And here's another bite. I haven't been getting a lot of bites here off this little ledge. So, who might you be? And it's another Horsey. I don't want to be a poet anymore, I want to see a Staryu. So we're going to run another time, and I obviously broke my agreement, my promise with you guys regarding 3 more encounters, but because I am only 1 Staryu away from completing my mission and capturing Pokemon pre-Seafoam Islands, I look to capture a Staryu for myself, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep you guys here long enough. Goldeen, Goldeen, Goldeen! Just like Super Smash Bros, you come out of the Pokeball when I don't want you to. When I want to see another Pokemon besides your face, you come flopping out like a dead fish, waiting to get in the frying pan, getting in the way of my life. Okay? I needed to go through that rant right there. It was a purposeful rant. It wasn't a hateful rant. Okay? I want to see a Staryu. I know it's the same occurrence rate as the other guys that I've already caught here on this route. Gosh dang you, Shelder. And you do realize it's a 25% occurrence rate. Shelder, Goldeen, Horsey, and Staryu, I believe, all with the Super Rod. So it's very strange and ironic that I'm not catching the Staryu. And I know my Super Rod is not being a star for me here in edition 45 of this Pokemon Blue walkthrough. Oh my goodness gracious. You've done it again. That's why I'm not playing Super Smash Bros. Ever again. It's not, you know, it's not anything against me losing sometimes or me just being bad. It's because of you, Goldeen. It's because you. Thank you, Staryu, for showing your face. You little medallion. Alright, so now, don't make a mistake, Cue Ball, and use Thunder Shock. Very good. Use Thunder Wave. Shock this little starfish to the bone. To the, I don't think it has bones. Or muscles, or whatever. Obviously it has muscles. And he's not going to fight. Not going to put up a fight, and I'm going to catch my Staryu. So I should have some room in box number 4. And it's a star shape. An enigmatic Pokemon that can effortlessly regenerate any appendage that loses its battle. Salamander-like. So I'm not going to name it other than evasive. And Route 20 is the largest water route of the 3 in Kanto. So I thought I'd bring you up to speed on that. So before we enter into Seafoam Islands now. So there's a trainer. I'll be dealing with you later. So, time to enter the dungeon we called Seafoam Islands. Here in Seafoam Islands, you can get 3 new items. One on the second basement floor, a Nugget. One on the third basement floor, a Max Elixir. And one on the fourth basement floor, Ultra Ball. Those are all hidden. All hidden. And I need to document where those are exactly, because I did not do that on my notes. You can also capture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new Pokemon besides Articuno, of the ones that I, you know, maybe they're not new to you, but they're new to me throughout this walkthrough. So what you need to do is you need to push each of these boulders into those holes to stop the current below. So that's why we brought Mark along with us. So you're going to use strength, and we're going to, thanks to the warden, push this boulder into this black square. Much like the ice path that I dreaded back when I was 8 years old. And we're going to be running into some Pokemon. Here on the first floor, the new Pokemon for us, not Krabby, is a Seal, level 30 at 25% occurrence rate. So we should be seeing a number of those guys. And I'm going to put some new people out in the lead. I'm going to have Boulder lead the way for me. Excuse me. How dare you disobey me? So we're going to switch out Raichu, sorry, right now. And we're going to be running to a Seal, a Dugong, so the second evolution of the Seal, which is not too far after a level 30 Seal, so I'm not going to risk it capturing a Dugong, wasting a bunch of Ultra Balls, because he can be pretty difficult to capture. So that weakened him pretty good amount, so let's see what Rock, that would not be a good choice. Okay, so I'm going to bring out Raichu now. And not going to use Thunder Shock, obviously. You're going to bring out the Thunder Wave again, and hopefully we can capture the Seal. It takes a chunk out of my Ultra Balls. I'll just go off screen, and I'll get some more, Ultra Balls for myself before I meet with Articuno on that fateful encounter. So stay with me here. Thank you, Seal. And we're on a roll now, capturing Pokemon here in part 45. It's a sea lion. Don't get eaten by the killer whales. The protruding horn on its head is very hard. It is used for bashing through thick ice. So I'm not going to name this guy. And he's transferred to the PC. So other than Seals, and we take care of all the Pokemon we capture in here on this first floor. Other than Seal, we're going to be looking for Dugong, level 38, 4% occurrence rate on the basement floor 1. Kingler, levels 37, 1% occurrence rate, wow, low on the basement floor 1. Golbats, 4% occurrence rate, basement floor 2, and Golduck's 37 level, 1% occurrence rate on basement floor 2, and then none on basement floor 3, and basement floor 4 is Articuno. So I'll see you guys back in part 46. I gotta go now. Continue on to Seafoam Islands.